In a world where steel met stone and survival demanded cunning, the medieval castle wasn't just a home. It was a fortress, a statement, a weapon in plain sight. Every wall, tower and gate was engineered with deadly purpose. And yet, beneath the shadow of battlements and moats, there was artistry, strategy, and a secret language of defence that could turn ordinary men into unstoppable defenders. If you're ready to see the invisible hand behind history's strongest fortresses, hit subscribe and join me as we unravel the genius of medieval castles like never before. Medieval castles didn't appear out of nowhere. They were born from chaos. After the collapse of central power in Europe, local lords needed a way to protect their land, enforce authority, and survive the constant threat of invasion. Magyars, Vikings, and rival nobles didn't knock politely. They came to conquer, burn, and take. Castles became the answer, rising from hills and riversides as symbols of strength. Early castles were simple mounds of earth topped with wooden towers. These Motte and Bailey designs provided basic protection, but as attacks became more sophisticated, so did the castles. By the 12th century, timber gave way to stone. Thick walls, fortified gates, and central keeps turned a humble stronghold into a nearly impregnable fortress. Every feature had a purpose, every curve and corner calculated for maximum defence. The genius of a castle often started outside its walls. A deep moat stopped siege towers and battering rams before they even reached the gate. Attackers had to either fill it or find another way across while under fire from archers on the walls. And that fire wasn't random. Archers had carefully designed lines of sight from narrow slits, hidden recesses, and elevated towers. The drawbridge wasn't just a wooden plank, it was a trap in disguise. Raised, it cut off access completely. Some used clever counterweight systems to make massive bridges rise with ease. Others swung into pits, creating an extra obstacle that could crush attackers' momentum. Each design was a puzzle meant to slow and weaken anyone daring to step onto castle grounds. Even if an enemy made it across the moat, the gatehouse awaited. These were fortified structures designed to funnel attackers into a narrow killing zone. Thick wooden doors, reinforced with iron, could absorb battering rams, while portcullises could drop with deadly force. Machicolations allowed defenders to rain arrows, stones, and boiling liquids from above, while arrow slits along the walls made firing from cover nearly foolproof. Some gatehouses were open at the rear, ensuring that even if attackers broke through, they couldn't hold the space. Temporary wooden hoardings extended the walls, creating additional firing points. Wet hides on the roof protected against flaming arrows, a simple but effective layer of defence that often meant life or death for those inside. The castle's curtain walls were more than just barriers. They were, in fact, tools. Outward-sloping bases, which were called taluses, deflected battering rams and prevented siege towers from coming too close. Towers punctuated the walls, giving defenders elevated vantage points for flanking fire. Round towers solved the weak corner problem of square towers, deflecting projectiles and resisting undermining. And, well, D-shaped towers combined the best of both, curving outward toward enemies while keeping construction simpler on the rear. Inside, towers were multi-level fortresses themselves. Storage on the lower floors, guard rooms in the middle, and living quarters above allowed defenders to fight and survive at the same time. Each arrow slit, each floor level, and each wall angle was part of a larger living strategy. Castles weren't only about fighting. They were, really, miniature cities. The inner bailey housed stables for horses, workshops for blacksmiths and carpenters, kitchens for soldiers and servants, and chapels for faith. Wells ensured water even under siege, allowing life to continue when the enemy believed victory was within reach. Daily life and military readiness were, really inseparable. Craftsmen maintained weapons, armour and siege engines, while soldiers patrolled the walls. Every building, every corner of the inner bailey served both practical and defensive purposes, creating this seamless blend of life and fortification. At the heart of every castle stood the keep, the ultimate sanctuary. Thick walls, few windows, and reinforced towers made it almost impossible to capture. Spiral staircases favoured defenders, restricting attackers' movement while allowing sword-wielding men to fight from advantage. Ground floors stored provisions. Upper floors held living quarters, guest rooms, and private chapels. The top battlements gave a commanding view of the surrounding land, a last chance to repel intruders. The keep wasn't just a refuge, it was really a final statement of control, an assertion that the Lord's power was absolute, even if everything else fell. Every detail, from the spiral stairs to the arrow slits, whispered one thing: this fortress was meant to last. By the 15th century, gunpowder changed everything. Cannons reduced stone walls to rubble and made medieval castles obsolete. Nobles abandoned these fortresses for chateaux, prioritizing comfort, luxury, and aesthetics over defense. Castles became symbols rather than weapons, preserved as relics of an era where human ingenuity transformed stone into near-perfect protection. Yet their legacy remains. Castles tell a story of strategy, engineering, and survival. They were homes, fortresses, and tools of power all at once. Every moat, drawbridge, and tower speaks to centuries of design, trial, and triumph. Today, castles inspire curiosity and wonder. They are monuments to a time when human creativity shaped survival, and when every stone, arrow slit, and battlement had meaning. They remind us that history isn't just a list of kings and battles. It's a testament to clever minds solving impossible problems. If this journey into medieval ingenuity captured your imagination, subscribe for more stories that reveal the secrets behind history's most astonishing feats. Share this with a friend who loves history, because some lessons from the past are too fascinating to keep secret.